Okay, I'm going to give this a shot, even though my voice is a little challenged. Um, we left off yesterday at section 8. So this is a little bit different in terms of the mode of compensation, which is relevant to the material. The one ingredient that alchemists all agree you need in order to start the process is what they call prima materia, the prime material, the chaos of matter that precedes form, what the Jungians would call the unconscious. The experience that people report going through when the unconscious erupts into consciousness in an uncontrolled way resembles drowning. It resembles flooding and being overwhelmed by water. So this section is composed of found pieces of various reports of flooding from different perspectives, I guess you could say. O God, everything overflowing, water swallows land, the house floating, heavy rain, ocean waves, snow melts quickly, claims levees break, shocked, tossed, buffeted, gasped for breath, tried to keep my head above water with only a few inches, or may cover a house to the rooftop within minutes, or over a long period, days, weeks, longer, this empty, outstretched hand, the water took me away. The costliest impact residential basement flooding was a horrendous loud noise like a huge wall of bubbles swirling in my ears. Oh God, I never expected to die of drowning. Additionally, change in average sold price was negatively impacted where water rose and floated us until our heads touched the ceiling. It was dark and the house tossed every which way, the bodies of my 7 children floating around me in the gloom. Nine. Buttercup conundrums, broken connections. Loves me not, though lack of non-evasive loves me, leaves an awkward residue, gums up mental action into eccentric orbital defibrillations, insane torrential onslaughts, oscillating, unresolvable, yes, no, 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 as churned waters reach the ceiling. No other human remains to witness. Undines swarm out of the dark, seductive, fluid forms, desires dream, whispers of love distilled into friendship, heart's connection, dark burning jewel held dear. But why, or no, or not? Why no touch, no shared mind, no air to breathe, spark, no life, no unrestrained love, free of calculations, evasion equals the two minds of that demonic dislocation, robs the world of life, of touch, sucks out the juice, leaves only yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, hung, not just uncertain, but outside knowing, outside east or west, outside Buttercup's thought of love. This is another one that's not unlike that in the sense that it's an attempt to reproduce the frenzy of a certain moment. It starts with an epigraph from Emerson. Friendship. O friend, my bosom said, through thee alone the sky is arched, through thee the rose is red, all things through thee take noble form. Friendship. Friend, let's be friends, harness love to jets of affection which make a young world for me. Friends, we can be friends, we can never speak, which is friends or delicious as a just and firm encounter of two in a thought. Friends is friends, we can look at each other on a Zoom screen, no contact. Friends, but friends is before her I may think aloud. Friends is no contact. Friends go away. Friends, but we can be friends, be comments on group chat. Friends is good. Friends is sublimated love. Friends, touch in their hearts. Friends, we can be friends in a corner of a group Zoom, no contact. But good friends, good friends. Friends is simplicity and wholeness with which one chemical atom meets another. Friends is no contact. Let's be friends. Please be a person with whom I may be sincere. A friend is no contact. A friend is a head in a corner of a screen. Let's be (11) Joined is hard to leave when the spell breaks. A piece of her embedded in heart's tissue pulses hot and dark at the thought of imagined black hole left behind, the surgical removal of all meaning. Where was she when he howled in terror, howled loss, howled rage? Was she fucking the plumber? Or just stirring a highball, medication for torment, racked 21-year-old body and soul, betrayed by desire to a cell with bars of screaming demand. She abandoned to its fear and fury, which holed up in a dark, cozy corner beneath to hang out and dream strange concoctions of love, feature her many charms. 12. Epigraph at the beginning here from Aeschylus. In visions of the night, like dropping rain, descend the many memories of pain before the spirit's sight. Through tears and dole comes wisdom or the unwilling soul. Hoo-wee! That is some stink, some truly foul odor oozing out of that collapsed glory fantasy's dark glow, rotten fused desires, indistinguishable, disgusting mess. Maybe on the bed, like Monsieur Valdemar in Poe's dream of the horror of in-between life and death, melded and fused into meaningless lump till the spell breaks, and upon the bed there lay a nearly liquid mass of loathsome, of detestable putridity. Which sounds a lot like a vegetable drawer I once knew, not to treat death lightly, but one man's putridity is another's 3-week-old radish greens. The slime in both drawers speaks to inevitable broken merge wedding bed become funeral beer, full of shit, which is also fantasy, but real, as is her disappointment, doused flame's last lingering heat leaves half the party ready to move on, satisfied with the marvelous and rare alchemic wedding now categorized, safely stored, hermetically sealed from contact with living being, the other half senseless with grief, tending and rending and tearing, howling, an infant's long ago howl of mutilation and loss, of love beyond love, excised, buried, but never snuffed out, smolders in lingering hearts, dream of deep touch, soul to soul, deathless in death's bed, where chthonic tumult churns, rises in despair and grief, impossible passion, irreparable shattered heart shards everywhere, and unromantic contortions of ugly psychic torment, begs, grovels, whines, howls for heart's core's touch, which, never part of the deal, snuck into bed without permission, putrefied with the rest of the mess, nuptials submerged in rising floods, incestuous mother cunt waters. (13) And what about the actual marriage bed remains a theme in progress, as they say, when the end eludes capture and you just have to fake it, as they also say, although to fake there, where the thing reeks of careless imitation, is different than to fake here, where it's like a music fake book. All you need to know to take off on your own in company of others who join you there. Each marriage, she said, a mystery. Though when marriage is a fortress against archaic, toxic passion, her need to take desire's hammer to the pain shell between her and love's arms, delirium of erotic fantasies, would-be incestuous union madness, plants emptiness, vulnerable to sudden maelstrom, requires orientation's recalibration of the mystery to include touch on hold, as if any separate address might break the seal on the furnace doors, release fire to consume world's numinous order, slowly built out of tenuous gestures of the domestic sublime, gleaned from Emerson's meal in the firkin, milk in the pan, as if the whole affair meant this turning recovered touch toward further fakings. Last chapter. Still with me? Numinosum parenthetical. Mercurius this. Mercurius this, Mercurius that, who gives a shit, when all that's left is the memory of a kiss that shook creation's foundation, gentle caress, the small of her back where smooth flesh still curves to paradise if you close your eyes and pretend. The place of tears dwells in love's root. Deep in darkness he stole her away to, held her there so that she knew death, wed death to her soul, and no flower, poppy, anemone, daisy, rose, escaped that knowledge's bloody stain, remains in the heart left behind, alone with the image of a face never again to be seen in love's light. Spiritual Valium looks very like a wall you run into face first over and over till you think it doesn't hurt. Or say the news you're no longer welcome in love's home and you don't even care because you have a nice spot in the alley nearby. Ashes take no hostages shouldn't make sense, but still manages to leave every hope shattered, no tenderness untouched by rage's icy hot fingers faced with an empty world, and that loves death, touches withdrawal into another story with no room for the heart that suffered broken union, a forced error, necessary outcome of desire's fire, leaves residue to deal with hole left by a world moved on without it. Love stands by the side of the road, thumb out, no destination in mind, tears from a recent dream having dried. Okay, that's it for this section, section 2 of Numinosum. And we will wrap it up tomorrow.